Welcome everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to take a look at the brand new solo album by former GNR guitarist Gilby Clarke. It's called The Gospel Truth. It just came out May 7th of 2021, at least on CD, because it actually came out 2 weeks earlier. Digitally, you could have streamed it for those 2 weeks, but we're going to talk about the CD edition. We're going to do a little unboxing on it, and we'll get into all that in just a little bit. But if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the video or know someone that would, please share it out on social media. I would also appreciate that, help spread the word. And of course, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this, with the brand new Gilby Clarke solo album called The Gospel Truth. And so, Gilby Clarke is probably most famous for having spent those 3 years within Guns N' Roses at the height of the band's success from 1991 to 1994. But before all of that, he actually got to start in another band back in 1985 called Candy. Then he'd leave that band, form his own band, Kill for Thrills, and they released a really good EP in 1989 called Commercial Suicide, and then followed that up a year later with their debut studio album, Dynamite from Nightmare Land, in 1990. You can see it right there at the top. Really great album, straight ahead rock and roll. If you're not familiar with it, do check it out. And so at that point, he's basically plucked from obscurity by Axl Rose to take over the rhythm guitar position that Izzy Stradlin left vacant when he left the band. And so following a whirlwind, turbulent ride on the night train that is Guns N' Roses, including recording the covers EP or album called Spaghetti Incident in 1993, Gilby releases his own debut solo album, Pawn Shop Guitars, in 1994. And it's another great one. If you don't have any of the Gilby solo albums, I do recommend that one. Next, he joins fellow GNR guitarist Slash in his new project Snake Pit, and they record a really good album called It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere. And that's 1995. So now at this point, he's already spent 10 years within the rock and roll industry, been a part of a lot of great projects and bands at this point. Now over the next decade, he releases another 5 studio albums, including being part of the reality TV show Rockstar Supernova in 2006. And so that project there was a band that was, put together for the show, featured Gilby Clarke on guitars, Jason Newsted on bass from Metallica, and Tommy Lee on drums from Motley Crue. And a really great lineup and all, and they were searching for their lead singer. They put out one album, which is actually pretty good. Unfortunately, they didn't promote it or tour or anything, so it just really sunk without a trace. And it's now been 15 years since he's put anything out at all, which brings us to The Gospel Truth, his brand new solo album. And so this is being released now 27 years after his debut solo album in 1994 and 20 years since his last solo album, Swag, in 2001. And so this one here, 5th solo album, 10 new songs, all written by Gilby Clarke, only 33 minutes long, so it's a bit on the short side, but it's all rockers and no ballads. It is pedal to the metal all the way through from start to finish. And he's got a number of great special guests on this one. For starters, he brings in several GNR sidemen. He's got Teddy Andreades on organ, Roberta Freeman on background vocals. And with their performances, you immediately kind of recognize that they were very standout performers on the Use Your Illusion albums. And so when you hear that, here it makes a nice connection. And then there's other special guests. We've got Matt Starr on drums from Mr. Big, Stephen Perkins on drums coming from Jane's Addiction and Infectious Grooves, Kenny Aronoff on drums from John Mellencamp and Chickenfoot, Nikki Sixx on bass from Motley Crue, Sean McNabb on bass from Quiet Riot and Great White, and Muddy Dutton on bass from LA Guns. So a lot of great performers on this. I think it really enhances and helps the quality overall. But as big picture of this thing, it really just picks up where he left off 20 years ago. It continues his garage rock stylings, and it's got the great dirty sleazy guitars and blues rock rhythms that we've come to know Gilby Clarke for. And so there's a number of great standout songs on here I want to talk about, starting with track 1, The Gospel Truth. It's a great opener on here. It's got nice rhythmic bass line to it, and then there's female background vocals and horns on this, and it really sets the bar high in my opinion for the rest of the album, but really great way to start things off. Track 3, Tightwad. It's a nice dirty rocker with a standout guitar solo on this one. I think it would have fit perfectly on his 1994 solo album Pawn Shop Guitars. Track number 6, Violation. Probably my favorite track of all on the album here. This one's got a stomping drum line on it, and GNR sideman Teddy Andreades is on this playing organ, and it feels like it could have been on either of the Use Your Illusion albums, and just another great guitar solo on this one here. And I gotta say, every track's got a great guitar solo. These here just happen to be standout ones. And then track 8, Dangerous Sin. It's got some real interesting, clever lyrics and the way that it's sung. And the song has a cool groove to it and then a very memorable hook that just gets stuck in your head long after listening to it, kind of thing. So let's take a look at the album. Front cover of it, I do like it. It's got a good shot there of Gilby and a cool, sunrise, sunset, depending upon how you look at it there. And then the back side here, track listing at top and some production notes down there. First thing I noticed about this though when I got it was the dark inlay that's on this. It's not one of the clear ones with the picture in it. So I don't know if they were doing that as a throwback, retro kind of thing, or if they were doing that to save money on this. And the reason I go leaning towards the money part is the booklet. It's my only complaint of this whole thing here is that you've got that nice front cover shot, and then you open it and that's it. There's no pages, there's nothing to it. It does run through track by track who's on it, and then the back side of it, which we've already seen here, it just duplicates it. So no additional pictures, no explanation as to what's going on or any other kind of stuff that's here, and it just bare bones booklet in this thing. That's my only complaint. Otherwise, I do love this album. And so it may be short at 33 minutes, but it is rock and roll in your face the whole way through. I think the 20-year wait has been well worth it for this thing. It's an utterly fantastic dirty rock record. And Gene Simmons loves to say rock is dead, but I think this album here answers back loud and proud that rock is alive and well, and Gilby Clarke is the purveyor of it. Do yourself a favor, go out and check out this album. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and you'll enjoy it. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye, everyone.